Salut la team Body Expert, j'espère que vous allez bien. Aujourd'hui, je vous ai préparé une sélection de vidéos dont les pères découvrent que leur enfant n'est pas le leur. Mais avant de commencer, présentons quelques chiffres. Selon les statistiques médicales, 30% des tests de paternité auprès d'hommes ou d'enfants ayant eu un doute sur leur lien de parenté révèlent que le père biologique n'est pas le véritable. Toutefois, les statistiques indiquent également que sur un panel plus grand de femmes enceintes ayant décidé de faire un test de maladie génétique, seulement 2% des enfants ne sont pas issus du vrai père. A noter que dans ce cas précis, les femmes enceintes ayant un doute sur la véritable identité du père ne feront pas de test génétique et n'apparaîtront pas dans les statistiques. Donc officiellement, la France et ses 67 millions d'habitants comporteraient au moins 2% de la population n'étant pas issue du véritable père, soit 1 340 000 personnes. Officieusement, je pense que l'on peut doubler ou tripler le taux et que l'on est plutôt autour de 4 à 6%, ce qui doit faire environ entre 2 600 000 à 4 millions de personnes dont le père n'est pas le véritable. Alors pourquoi je m'avance à doubler ou tripler le chiffre ? Tout simplement car en ayant une expérience très avancée des femmes à travers mon activité d'escort boy et connaissant très bien leurs vices, je peux vous dire que j'ai rencontré plus de femmes infidèles que fidèles, sans compter celles qui m'ont demandé que je leur fasse un gosse en me promettant de disparaître après. Chose que bien entendu je refusais. Bref, d'après mes observations sur le terrain, je vous garantis que si on faisait des tests de paternité à l'échelle nationale, le taux de pères non biologiques serait beaucoup plus élevé que le taux avancé officiellement. Allez, on va passer à la séance cinéma, alors installez-vous confortablement, préparez les mouchoirs pour les âmes sensibles et je vous dis à tout de suite pour le décryptage.
Hello, Your Honor. This is a case of Manser versus Sear.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Good day.
Mr. Manser, you claim you spent 5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for the defendant, Ms. Sear's son, Dylan.
That's right.
And it was never proven that you are his biological father.
That's right.
Now, Ms. Sear, you say you have proof that Mr. Manser is Dylan's father. Finally stop him running from his responsibility.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's cruel and unusual punishment to be sentenced to 5 years in prison with rapists and murderers and child molesters for missing a court date, because that's basically what happened. I missed a court date. I mean,
Ms. Sear, your evidence clearly states that there was a laboratory test performed.
Yes, ma'am.
I see here.
I don't think it happened. I think she worked in the lab and that she's had this thing manufactured.
This is
That's
what
upset.
movies are made of. Now, this court has administered new testing,
Right.
and both of you submitted to the test.
And it was
The lab, because of the sensitivity of this issue, ran 2 tests. The results are as follows. In the case of Manser versus Sear, as it pertains to 20-year-old Dylan Sear, Mr. Manser, you are not
oh God.
his father.
Oh man. 5 years in prison. Dylan, I'm sorry, bro. This is why. This is why I did what I did.
But this is
and acted.
nothing I made up. The lab did it.
This is clearly the most shocking
Very much.
news we've ever gotten in this courtroom.
Oh my God. She should be convicted of some crime.
No, I should not. I didn't.
That
Mr.
is
Manser,
fraud.
Mr. Manser,
That is
I
fraud.
know you're upset. I know it's overwhelming. I need a moment with Dylan because I want to make sure he understands. Do you want to find out who your father is?
Of course.
Miss Sear, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is.
Yes, I talk to him still.
Listen,
Get away from my son.
he apologized.
And under another breath, he's calling me a liar.
You cannot stand there and really suggest that you cannot comprehend why this man would not have any type of ill feeling, frustration, or regret as it relates to anything involving you. 5 years in prison. And say, do you know who your son's father is? And you say, yes, I'm still in touch with him. That is a really huge pill to swallow.
Bon, que dire de cette pute, car je crois qu'on peut la définir ainsi. Madame Serre a fait croire que cet homme était le père de son enfant pour obtenir de l'argent à travers une pension. L'homme n'y croyant pas, il ne s'est pas présenté à l'audience et s'est retrouvé immédiatement en prison. La femme connaissait l'identité du vrai père, mais ça ne lui a posé aucun problème d'envoyer un innocent en prison pendant 5 ans. Et pour mener à bien son plan machiavélique, elle a fabriqué une fausse preuve de paternité. On notera à la fin du jugement, après que la supercherie soit révélée par la juge, que Madame Serre ne fait preuve d'aucun remords et c'est l'homme qui va réconforter le fils de celle qui a détruit sa vie. Séquence suivante.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Bernning versus Bodine.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Bernning, you recently appeared in couples court and it was confirmed that the defendant cheated on you. This infidelity has caused questions regarding your 2-year-old daughter, Robin, and 6-month-old son, Jermaine Jr.'s paternity. Although you are hopeful that both are your children, you now have doubts. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bodine, you claim that you are certain the plaintiff is Robin and Jermaine Jr.'s father and have evidence to support your claim. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so tell me about the day you first found out she was pregnant.
Well, when she first came home and told me she was pregnant, I was excited, you know, and especially once we found out that it was a girl.
At that time, did you know there could be any other possibility?
No, Your Honor. I admit I did cheat, but for certain he's the father. We was together while I got pregnant with Robin, and I know for certain he's the father.
It actually happened during labor, Your Honor. I was in the hospital sitting across from Kayla as she was pushing this baby out, and I received a text from a guy telling me to leave the hospital because that's his baby and he needs to be there.
What? And so you get the text and you know who it's from.
Yes.
What do? You can't say anything to Miss Bodine while she's in labor, can you?
I just kept going and I signed her birth certificate.
So you just kept going through the entire experience?
I pushed through it. I wanted my daughter and I wasn't letting anybody take her from me.
So, Miss Bodine, this other man sent a text to Mr. Bernning while he's by your side at the hospital. How do you know this other guy is not the biological father?
Because, Your Honor, I stood up and did the woman and the mother thing I had to do and got the other guy tested.
Oh, so you had a DNA test on the other guy already?
Yes, and he wasn't the father.
And you submitted those results to the court?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right. The results read that the probability of paternity between you and this other guy is 0%.
Yes.
So he was not the father.
No, he wasn't, because Jermaine's the father.
All right. So, Mr. Bernning, you still build the relationship, but you still have a doubt?
Yes, quite a few. First off, the DNA test doesn't mean anything considering the fact that she's cheated on me with more than one person.
Oh.
After a certain time, you can't just ignore it anymore. It just keeps happening. It's hard to ignore, very hard.
Ms. Bodine says she is 100% certain. That doesn't make your doubt subside?
I don't trust the thing that really comes out of her mouth. I really don't. And to be honest with you, after all this has happened, you know, depending on the doubts with Robin, I wouldn't know about my son as well.
I think it's important that we get this family some clarity.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think we need to first go to Robin's results. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. You are shaking.
I know.
I feel your nervousness from here. Are you okay?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm perfect.
Okay.
I just want to get it out there. I want to know the truth. She deserves it. She deserves everything.
In the case of Bernning versus Bodine, when it comes to 23-month-old Robin Bernning, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Bernning, you are not the father. I'm very sorry.
It doesn't matter, I'm still gonna be there. I'm lonely when she calls Daddy. You can't change it. We spent 2 years together. You can't change that. You can't take that away.
You said earlier that if Robin was not your biological child, it causes you to doubt whether or not you truly are the biological father of Jermaine Bernning Jr. And because of that doubt, the court wants to make sure when you leave here, you have the whole truth.
I think I deserve at least that, Your Honor.
Mr. Bernning, what are your hopes?
I hope Jermaine's mine. I really do. It'd be good to know at least one of my kids is mine. Yeah. I'm looking forward to spending all the time I can with him.
All right. Well, let's get these results. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Bernning versus Bodine, when it comes to 6-month-old Jermaine Bernning Jr., it has been determined by this court. Mr. Bernning, you are not the father.
What the?
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Bernning.
I got cribs and playpens and toys, and I've done everything that I do, and
Miss Bodine, do you know who Jermaine Jr.'s father is?
No, Your Honor. I didn't know that was going to come out like that.
You said you don't have that? You don't know?
No, Your Honor.
I'm asking this as respectfully as I can. When you say you don't know, like, you don't remember sleeping with people, or is it just that there were so many you can't remember? Or what is it? Because at this point, I hope you go and find the biological fathers for your children, because the same way Mr. Bernning gets those texts and all those people in his ear, that's how they do the kids. Sometimes people can be very cruel. And the next thing somebody wanna come drop a dime that you know, Jermaine ain't your daddy. I don't know why people can be so cruel, but we hear it over and over again. And you never want that to come to your child that way. When you could have told them, you too could have told them, all right? We have counseling and resources for you. Please talk to Dr. Jeff. Please begin the healing process and figure out how we can create healthy, happy environments, safe, emotional environments for these two beautiful children. And Mr. Bernning, I applaud you.
Dans ce jugement, on fait connaissance de la charmante Mrs. Bodine et du pauvre Mr. Bernning. On a un monsieur qui apprend par SMS qu'il ne serait peut-être pas le père d'un de ses enfants, mais qui passe outre cette information. Toutefois, les tourments le rattrapent et il veut finalement connaître la vérité. Très affecté par la situation, il bégaye et tremble de manière incontrôlable. De l'autre côté, on aperçoit une femme sûre d'elle et qui ment sans sourciller. Les résultats ADN tombent et non seulement le second enfant n'est pas le sien, mais le premier non plus. C'est la double peine. Et quand la juge demande à Mrs. Bodine qui pourrait être le ou les pères, celle-ci ne sait pas. en sous-entendant qu'il y aurait eu beaucoup d'amants. Vous noterez également l'absence d'émotion ou de remords sur le visage de Mrs. Bodine. Cette affaire aura révélé la véritable nature de cette mère de famille, ainsi qu'un homme prêt à surmonter cette trahison et à s'occuper des 2 enfants nés des amants de sa femme.
Ms. Englund, you say that you and Mr. Kiser have been together for 6 years, have a 3-year-old son together, but claim he's now denying your 6-month-old son Isaac, and you're here to prove that he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kiser, you acknowledge one child with Ms. Englund, but say Isaac is not yours. You say that during your separation from Ms. Englund, she slept with another man, and you are 100% sure he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Kiser, if baby Isaac is not your biological child, can you still work on the relationship, or is it over?
No, Your Honor, it's over, Your Honor. It's over. I can't do it. I've already helped her raise her other child, and I've raised the child, and then it's gonna be a problem, Your Honor, because this might be the baby of the man who she actually cheated on me with. So how am I gonna raise his child? I want that to be my son, Your Honor. I do want it to be my son, but I just want to make sure it's my son.
When it comes to 6-month-old Isaac Englund, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Kiser, you are not the father.
Are you sure?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kiser.
You sure? Are you
I'm
sure?
so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's gotta be a mistake, right? It's a mistake, right?
I am so sorry, but it is not a mistake. You are not baby Isaac's
But he
biological
can be his father. It doesn't matter if DNA or not. He can be that boy's father.
Concernant l'affaire Mme Englund et M. Kiser, l'histoire se répète une fois de plus. Elle nie jusqu'au bout en pensant probablement que si elle a couché avec plusieurs hommes durant la même période, il y a quand même une probabilité pour que M. Kiser soit le père. Alors elle tente sa chance jusqu'à ce que les résultats tombent. Elle a joué, elle a perdu.
Sperm stealer.
I don't know how you steal someone's sperm when he's denying the baby. So
He basically said you raped him.
If I stole your sperm, why are you denying the baby?
Right.
Like, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Drew, come on out.
You're telling me that I raped you, but if I raped you, then how'd you get?
I'm a guy.
No.
All right. I'm a dude.
That's not
If the girl is on top of me, yeah.
No,
it doesn't matter.
how it works.
It is how it works.
You have to want it.
Are you a dude?
have to want it.
In the case of 11-month-old Lila, Drew, you are not. Go back and another baby daddy. I had to help you. Don't jump all over her, okay? It's okay, Lila. You okay? Lila, you want to tell him anything?
No, I don't. I'm sorry, Drew.
Yeah.
Dans cet autre cas, on nous présente une jeune femme très sûre d'elle qui a dû avoir des rapports sexuels avec plusieurs partenaires durant la même période et qui prétend que le jeune homme fuit ses responsabilités de futur père. Drew est donc présenté comme le méchant de l'histoire jusqu'à ce qu'une preuve scientifique ne démasque cette nouvelle supercherie. L'arrogance de la jeune femme fait place aux pleurs et à la honte, tandis que le jeune homme fait preuve de fair play et part consoler la jeune femme qui trichait.
You and your brother, Mr. Hunt, are suing your mother and your father for a paternity test. You claim that just 2 weeks ago they dropped a bomb during an argument. You say in the heat of the moment they inadvertently revealed that it was possible your dad, Mr. Jacobs, is not your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jacobs, you say since the time they were babies, you are the only father your children have ever known.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Razor, tell us about the argument you and your brother overheard.
I started to hear a lot of noise in my mom's bedroom. He coming out the room, going to the kitchen saying, Well, those ain't my kids anyway, so I was doing you a favor and left out the door. Yes,
Really?
yes, really.
Ms. Razor, Mr. Farmer, the man in question, has agreed to take a paternity test. And he's joining us from his hometown. We're here with Ms. Razor, and you agreed to take a DNA test. Did you have a relationship with Ms. Hammonds?
You call this your brother?
Yes, we had a physical relationship. It wasn't a relationship.
You call that your brother?
Ms. Hammonds, were you intimate with Mr. Farmer? Is what he's saying true?
That's
Yes,
Uncle
ma'am.
Tommy.
Yes, ma'am.
That's just nasty. That's just nasty.
Wow.
That is not my father. That's not my father. Precious. No.
This is a lot even for me to take in. And I do this daily. And I want you all to take a deep breath. We've got to get through this. Ms. Hammonds, you do understand how your daughter feels at this point. She's introduced to this man as this is a family friend. She thought it was a brother-in-law. You called him Uncle Tommy. She had no idea that somewhere around the time she was conceived, you were in a sexual relationship with him. You do understand that,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
In the case of Razor Hunt versus Jacobs Hammonds, as it pertains to 26-year-old Precious Razor, Mr. Farmer,
Yes.
you are not her father.
Oh, my God.
In the case of Razor Hunt versus Jacob Hammonds, as it pertains to 26-year-old Precious Razor, Mr. Jacobs, you
All the father. You all the father.
are not her father.
No.
This is my daughter right here.
You'll be okay.
No, leave me.
Sit down. The judge got to finish reading your paper. Sit down again.
As it pertains to 33-year-old Hector Hunt, Mr. Jacobs, you are not Hector's father.
Oh, you is scandalous.
Alors là, c'est le bazar total. Non seulement la mère présente à sa fille son amant sous une fausse identité d'oncle, mais en plus, ni le père ni l'amant n'est le père biologique d'aucun des deux enfants. Une nouvelle fois, la mère ment jusqu'à la dernière seconde et ne fait preuve d'aucun signe d'empathie envers ses enfants. C'est le mari, qui n'est finalement pas le père biologique, qui fait preuve d'amour, de compassion et de soutien envers les enfants. Pour conclure, vous venez de voir une autre facette de la société qui est très souvent cachée par les médias. En France, on vous présente toujours les hommes comme les méchants de l'histoire, qui n'aiment pas leurs enfants ou fuient leurs responsabilités, et où les femmes sont constamment les victimes innocentes. Maintenant, vous savez qu'il existe une autre facette de la réalité, avec des femmes dont le vice ne connaît aucune limite, et des hommes qui sont prêts à prendre toutes les responsabilités. Ma vidéo touche à sa fin, alors si vous avez aimé celle-ci, likez, abonnez-vous et je vous dis à très bientôt pour de nouvelles vidéos. Ciao les body experts.